Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and if I'm being really honest, I think I'm a little bit crazy. And the title of this video is "The Best People in Life Are Crazy," and I think that's true. So when I'm talking about crazy, I'm talking about unorthodox or unusual, or people that think a little bit differently. Maybe they think differently because they're a little bit entrepreneurial or very creative, very artistic, very driven, very compassionate or passionate in some specific way. But I think by crazy, I'm talking about unorthodox or unusual in some facet of their lives. And if you think about it, every single person on this planet is unusual in some regard. Nobody is average straight across the board. That doesn't exist. That wouldn't make any sense. You can find a lot of people who will fit a lot of the boxes, but every single person is unique in some regard. And so they will have some extra compassion or some wild creativity just thrown in there. And when I say the best people in life are crazy, I think that's true, because life is about finding your version of crazy, your version of unorthodox, unusual. And by doing that, you will inevitably meet people who are like-minded, who are crazy just like you in your specific way, hopefully. Or even if they're not in your specific way, they will complement your crazy. Some of my friends are totally different than me. They have completely different interests. Some of them are very physics and mathematically minded and very linear. Some are very traditional, living a very traditional life inside the church, inside their culture. They watch the very traditional and, in my opinion, basic and boring television shows and books and things like that. But every single one of them is really unique or kind of crazy in their own way, and it complements me really well. That being said, I also have a few people who are just as crazy as I am in my specific way, and they're really fun to bounce ideas off of and hang out with and get into horrible, crazy situations together. It's really fun. But the point is, one of your responsibilities in life is to figure out where and how exactly you are insane or crazy or unusual. And two, find the people, find the connections, find the life that complements your crazy correctly. Again, substitute crazy for unorthodox or unusual or quirky. If you want to be quirky, then go for it. But I think a lot of us benefit from this. Sometimes we get lucky and there will be people in our family who have our specific version of insanity. The word crazy has been, kind of co-opted in many different ways in so much that it's kind of lost its meaning. But I'm gonna just refrain from calling it crazy and just call it unique or unorthodox or whatever you want to say, quirky. And your specific quirks, your specific traits really do mesh well with other people as long as you find the right ones. But you also have to be careful, because there will be people who are quirky in the opposite way, quirky in a way that really doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit them. They can be things that set you back and cause, fights and difficulty and strife. So it really does take this cautious approach, understanding that we are all different. We are all unique in our own ways, and that some people you're just not going to mesh with. And you need to understand that even though we are all unique and creative and beautiful individuals, some people aren't for you. Some people really are not for interacting with in a personal level. I've met people that I don't necessarily dislike, but I just know that they should not be in my life. And maybe they know the same, because we have steered clear of each other since day one. You get introduced to somebody through a friend of a friend, and you just realize oh, yeah, this person should not be anywhere near me, and vice versa. And that is totally fine. That is a level of maturity, accepting that your quirks are not going to do it for everybody. I find that I have to steer clear of people that are very, very knowledgeable about a lot of topics. They're surface level knowledgeable about a lot of topics, but they tend to be very gregarious, very talkative, I think they often get called know-it-alls. Those kinds of people I have to steer clear of because my quirks don't quirk with their quirks. It doesn't work out. I have to just politely leave the room or keep my mouth shut. And I know for a fact, I've met several people, a few in my own family, who have many of these sort of traits where they're very intelligent, they're very jack of all trades, master of none, but they're very useful in many situations. But I just can't be around that. Like, I can't be around that level of gregarious confidence where it's not really my vibe. I like to specialize in a few things that I really like, I really know, and I can be very talkative with people that I trust in my own circle, but around strangers, not so much. I can alleviate awkward situations by saying a joke or something, but I understand my quirks. I understand where I fit into most social situations. I understand where I want to fit in with my life and my goals. And I've tailored my experience to that exact thing. And then when I meet someone that I immediately intuitively kind of go, oh yeah, no, this is not my person. This is not for me. I politely get out of that situation. I don't want to drag it on. I don't want to just be really nice and, pretend. It's got to be a quick, sorry, I got to go. This isn't for me. No hard feelings. And that can be really hard, especially if one of your quirks is people pleasing, or one of your quirks is not letting anyone down, or trying to make sure that everyone has the best time. These are all different words for people pleasing. It can be a problem. But essentially, what I want to say in this video is that we are all insane. The human experience as it is, we are a bunch of hairless apes that live around the planet. We fly around in these metal tubes. We evolved in such a bizarre way. We do such bizarre little rituals. This whole house is filled with ridiculous things that we do as life forms. And just realizing that absurdity, and I've talked about this before, absurdity is freeing, crazy is freeing, understanding that this whole experience of life is truly bizarre, that allows you to understand that us as individuals is equally bizarre. Like, it's equally as bizarre to be individuals with our own thoughts and ideas and our perception of time and who we are as a person. That is just as insane as putting a tree in your house full of lights. Like, what? That makes no sense. I love it. I love it. It looks amazing, but it makes no sense. And so that when I'm talking about crazy or insanity, I'm talking about the sheer abstract ridiculousness of existence. And I've talked about this before where, realizing how ridiculous the world is quite a freeing thing. It allows you to break out of the mold, break out of society and the rules that have been implemented on you, and just enjoy life in a more nuanced way. I want to do a video soon about villains and like bad guys and stuff, because a lot of the villain trope has to do with realizing that society and existence is crazy. And when you realize that, many of the rules and boundaries that society puts up kind of, they fall down because you realize like, oh, this is all insane. Like, these rules don't actually mean anything. And it allows these villains space to be like evil or iconic or, very interesting for protagonists to then deal with. And we've recently seen like a huge uptick in glorifying the villain or showing the villain's point of view through cinema and film and theater. So I think it's really interesting to talk about these ideas. And I think they all relate to this idea of abstract absurdity and how life is so absurd and what does that mean for your experience as a human being. So look for that. This is, I guess, part one of this insanity thing. The best people in life are crazy. I think we can all agree. Let me know of someone you know who is just insane, but you love them. Like, they're just absolutely insane. They're a train wreck. They are a natural disaster waiting to happen. They are, raining cats and dogs. Like, they are the most insane piece of weather that has ever come into your life and you love them for it. Let me know about them. Let me know their story. And as always, I hope you're having a beautiful day, month, year, century, millennium, week, fortnight. And as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.